Hi, are you thinking about moving from Camas, Washington to Plano, Texas? Well, this video is for you. I grew up in the 360 and I currently live in Dallas, Texas and work as a real estate agent. I'd like to share the pros and the cons of both places and help you make a decision as to whether or whether or not Dallas and Plano are the place for you. The best thing about Plano in comparison to Camas is the weather, followed by the infrastructure, followed by the shopping. In that order. The weather is wonderful, and we have these very puffy clouds that almost look like they're coming out of a cartoon or the clouds that we painted or drew when we were in elementary school. The infrastructure in Plano is really well developed. The sidewalks, the roads. I joke with folks that if you're going to move to central Dallas, I think that you need to get a small SUV or mid-size SUV because the roads are a little rough. If you are some sort of pro athlete and you're going to be living up in the Plano area, there's a lot of pro athletes that live in the Plano and Frisco area. That's where you're going to want to drive your Lambo and your Ferrari and your all of those things because the roads are so smooth and those cars are meant for smooth roads. They're not meant for roads in central Dallas. So, there's pluses and minuses to everywhere. There isn't as much outdoor stuff here in the Dallas area as you're used to in Camas, and the Columbia River Gorge is gorgeous. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a real big adjustment between the beautiful topography of the gorge and the prairies of North Texas. That's just a fact of it. One of the advantages of using me as a real estate agent opposed to someone else is that I can give you an explanation of where you're looking to buy based on where you would have purchased in the Portland Metroplex. So Plano is like a Beaverton. Portland itself is Dallas. Camas is, I almost want to say it's like a Denton or a Rowlett. And Ken Fisher lives in Rockwall, and I think that's probably the closest version of Camas's Rockwall. I love Rockwall. It's beautiful. It has that wonderful open rolling hills on the lake. Rockwall is named after the rock wall that holds the hills back from falling into the lake. It has a very Kirkland feel to it out there. Right, these are all places that you know. It's lovely out there. I really think that that's some place that I would suggest if it wasn't so far. I think Ken must take a helicopter or a plane because it is clear across the other side of town. But for you, I think that it would make a tremendous amount of sense to look in the McKinney area. It's really pretty up there. Trinity Falls is gorgeous. They're still developing that area. It'll take you about as long to get to work as it would from some other places because there's just a really well-developed freeway that comes down. The 75 is a main arterial from Kansas City, Oklahoma City, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Corpus Christi. So it is always going to be a commercial arterial, and there's actually a lot of really good shopping off of the 75. There's also a lot of good shopping off of the DNT, but the DNT is a paid freeway. So more on that. Give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email. I'd be happy to discuss all of this with you. Buying a home is not as simple as Camas is like Rockwall or Plano is like Beaverton. There's a lot more complexity, especially in a city that is, what are we now, the fourth, fifth largest? Houston and Dallas are competing for fourth and fifth largest all the time, and there's a tremendous amount of population in this triangle which Southwest was born out of. Southwest originally began flying between it was Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, then Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin was a stop, and then it expanded from there. This huge population center here in Texas, and so there's a lot to do. And there's a lot of outdoor stuff to do in Hill Country, but that's in Austin. That's out past Austin, so it's about, I would say, 2-3 hours away from here, and it's really pretty there. But there's also a lot of really pretty places up in Oklahoma, and honestly, Oklahoma is a lot less expensive than Austin. Austin's kind of overrun right now. I used to live in Austin. I got my master's in Austin. I say that with love. Austin, you need some time. Austin, you've turned into Portland. Chances are, if you're leaving Camas, you know what I mean by Austin's turned into Portland. So as a recap, if you are living in Camas and you're thinking about moving to Plano, and you love the topography of the Columbia River Gorge, you may want to stay there. If you're looking for a faster pace of life and more activities indoors, I would most certainly move to Plano. If you're looking for more of a master plan feel, I'd move to Plano. If you are looking to climb a corporate ladder, I'd move to Plano. If you're looking for sunshine, I'd move to Plano. Essentially, if you are not tied to the mountains, if you're not tied to the mountains and the rivers and the feel of the Pacific Northwest, you will like Plano more than Camas, without a doubt. If you do like that more Pacific Northwest feel, you may struggle a little bit in Plano. There are places where the trees are beautiful. There's places the trees haven't grown yet. There's places where there are no trees because they didn't plant them. I say that with a little bit of frustration because I love trees as well. As a Washingtonian, in my youth, I'm not going to say a Washingtonian at heart or a Washingtonian in spirit, but as a child growing up in Washington, I really missed the trees when I left. But I also went to Arizona first, so that is a whole nother story for a whole nother day. However, I love trees. And I live in central Dallas because the trees are beautiful. There's canopies, they're over the roads, and they're everywhere, and there's just, it's almost lush. It's lush, but it's not humid, which is very unique. Very unique. So I would like to say that if you are interested in looking at property in the Plano area, I'm very well aware of where you'd want to be. And I would love to help you find your new home here in Dallas. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days, 90 days, or because corporate just moved, give me a call, send me a text, or shoot me an email. I'd be happy to help you find your next home right here in Dallas. Before you go, please subscribe and tap the bell for notifications. I would love to make more videos like this for folks that are looking to relocate and are looking for quality information. So please support me, tell me what you'd like to see, and I will most certainly oblige and create that content for you or whomever needs it. So I'm signing off. My name's Alex Tyler. When I lived in Portland, I lived in Laurelhurst and I worked in Northwest Portland, and that was a lovely existence. It was a lovely life. I found an opportunity to go and work in Europe, and it was pretty much my last chance before I wanted to really settle down and find my place. And so I left Portland, went to Europe, and now I'm in Dallas.